Every day, students study in different sound environments, some quiet, some noisy, and some filled with calming background sounds. These everyday conditions raise an important question. Do these sounds actually affect how well students focus? This presentation, titled Analyzing the Effects of Classroom Noise and Recorded Ocean Wave Sounds on the Study Focus of Grade 12 STEM Students, explores that question. To begin, here is a brief overview of the study through the abstract. This study explored whether different background sounds influence the study focus of grade 12 STEM students using reading comprehension, focus retention, and task accuracy as indicators. The findings showed no significant differences across the sound conditions. These results suggest that students can maintain focus even under moderate background sounds. Now let's proceed to the background of the study. This study examined how different background sounds, including classroom noise, recorded ocean wave sound, and silence, affect the study focus of grade 12 STEM students. Since sound levels in school environments often vary, the researchers aim to see whether these conditions influence reading comprehension, focus retention, and task performance. Now let's move on to the objective to be presented by Kapule Jan Alexis.
The study had three main objectives: to examine the effect of classroom noise, the effect of ocean wave sounds, and to compare the two conditions to determine which, if any, better supports students' study focus.
Now, let's proceed on the significance of the study. The study helps students understand how different sound environments influences focus. Teachers can use these insights to create effective learning conditions. Policymakers and school administrators can refer to the findings when designing classroom noise policies, and future researchers can use this study as a reference to further explore auditory effects on learning.
Now, for the methodology, 30 grade 12 STEM students took part in the study. They experienced three sound conditions: classroom noise, ocean wave sounds, and silence. Under each condition, they completed a post-test that measured reading comprehension, focus retention, and task accuracy. The sounds level were kept between 70 and 80 decibels for consistency. Once all scores were collected, a one-way INOVA was used to determine whether this sounds condition produce any significant difference in the student's focus.
And now, let's go to results and discussion. Exposure to classroom noise, ocean wave sounds, and silence produce similar focus outcomes. Reading comprehension was constantly high, focus retention was slightly higher under silence, and task accuracy shows minimal differences. Overall, short-term background sounds did not substantially affect student focus. These results indicate that brief exposure to different background sounds does not meaningfully impact student focus. Even though silence had slightly higher scores, the differences were not significant, suggesting that students can effectively complete academic tasks regardless of moderate background sound. In conclusion, classroom noise, ocean wave sounds, and silence produce comparable levels of student focus. Short-term exposure to these sounds does not significantly influence reading comprehension, retention, and task accuracy.
For recommendations, students may choose study environments based on personal preferences, as short-term background sounds do not significantly affect focus. Teachers can allow flexibility in classroom sounds condition during short tasks. Policymakers and school administrators may use these findings to guide classroom noise policies and learning environment design. Future research should explore longer exposure, larger sample sizes, and more complex tasks to further investigate how sound conditions affect focus.
At this point, this is the bibliography, presenting all the references consulted and cited in the researcher's study. Furthermore, these are the photo credits, indicating that all images and materials used in this presentation are originally produced and owned by the researchers group. To conclude, this ends the researchers' presentation. Thank you for your attention. The researchers are now ready to address any questions or clarifications.